Alrighty, good morning gamers. How are we doing? Welcome back to day number 8 within PokeMMO official Shiny Wars. My eggs should actually hatch on a tick right here. Dude, over this weekend I spent a lot of time just kind of chilling and hatching. I hatched all my eggs. It wasn't in the eggs, however I made some new eggs. I spent a fair bit of this weekend just sitting here. You notice my Pokeyen stack has actually gone down quite a bit. I was just sitting here making alphas. I actually have a few alpha eggs here. I was just sitting here. I would make 5 to 10 alphas. I would come hatch. I would make 5 to 10 alphas. I'd come hatch. Just a really chill way to sort of do some eggs and make some progress and hope for a big pointer, man. Just slowly going for those alphas. However, I do have a bunch of boxes prepped here. I'm going to have to actually get Dittos prepped for them properly today. I'm going to have to sell off some of these Shieldons as well. I sold off some Ammonites and other Shieldons and such on the GTL, as you can see here. We'll go ahead and collect whatever small Pokeyen we can get. Just typical, normal, boring Shiny Wars progress, you know, slow, inconsistent. We are 61,306 encounters dry. Hopefully we see something soon, but we'll see what happens. Today is stream recap 137. Let's see what's going on in the PokeMMO community, fellas. Hello, is the price of 1x31 IV Ditto cheap right now with respect on the past couple months? I really like, that's a great question. I love when new players come in, realize, hey, I'm new, I haven't seen the market for, you know, months or years. Is this normal? Because having that perspective and frame of reference is super important. I don't know how to do with almost my 3 Ditto boxes. Yeah, so 31 IV, like 1x31s and 2x31 IV Pokemon are cheaper than they kind of ever have been historically in PokeMMO for a couple of reasons. Number one, catching is easier than ever with super broken net balls. Number two, more people are farming Ditto boxes. Number three, there's just a lot of new players. There's not a whole lot of demand for good IV Pokemon without raids being in place. There's still a lot more demand for good IV Pokemon than people realize. Things like the red refight, things like events, things like PvP Pokemon, things like collecting in general. I collect a lot of good IV Pokemon, etc., etc., but raids is really going to amp up that demand and help things out a ton. Yeah, unfortunately 1x31s and 2x31 IV Pokemon are just not that good right now, unfortunately. How much Pokeyen did you start Wars with? I think I started with like 35 to 40 mil, but I also like prepped a bunch before Wars actually started, you know, and spent a lot there. And I also have been like collecting Pokeyen and like selling off things throughout War. So if you want to, the real, I guess, answer to that question is how much Pokeyen I've spent on War so far would probably be around 20 to 30 mil. It's day 8 and I've probably spent around 20 to 30 million Pokeyen already on Shiny Wars. Yeah. Wait, I did not realize. I think this is my last, this is how many eggs I've done throughout War, dude. I think this is my last box of Dittos that I'm switching over now that I had on alt. Remember, I had both of my alt accounts like fully stored up with Dittos, Dr. Nasty and Snooki. I'll show you guys the other one in a quick sec here. That's insane. I'm pretty sure I'm on the other one. This is my alt account Snooki that I made when I was 15 years old. Okay, chill. Okay, no, we still have some Dittos. Okay, whew. That's good news. How many though? Not that many boxes, right? 1, 2, 3. 3's not bad. But damn, dude, whew. I've probably made like, I don't know how many eggs in this war already. I prepped 1,000 eggs before the event even started. Hello again, it's me. Is it okay to hold/stack up good IV Dittos until raids if prices go up? I'm considering this because I think the base price of it doesn't change much. Yeah, the problem is, it's a really interesting question because obviously good IV Pokemon are super cheap right now. The problem is if you hold Dittos now, like let's say like, I mean, maybe it is worth, like generally at high demand, a 31 speed Ditto is worth 10k, right? And right now they're worth like 6 to 7k. So they are much cheaper, but after the listing fee and stuff, I don't know, you're making like 3k more Pokeyen to hold something for a non-guarantee for like months and months and months. Like, generally I wouldn't recommend it. Using those Dittos to breed for profit is really good if you want to really increase your profits. Whenever 1x31s are cheap, breeding for profit is better. So if you are a new player and you want to make Pokeyen, one of the best things you can do is learn to breed for profit. I have tons of videos and tons of guides on that like to abuse, like there's always a way. Just because if a market is bad for one thing, it means that using that thing in a different way to make money is usually just bad. Like, it's just like, it's not like the whole market is bad, right? 1x31s are cheap, correct. That doesn't mean like, I mean, that means, and therefore that means the market isn't bad. It just means like catching Pokemon for profit isn't as good as it historically has been. And then it also means that breeding for profit is better. So it's good to understand what to do and when to do it during certain markets. I super agree with this. Just breed mons for raids and hold them. Also EV train them in bulk. Yes. If you want to like hold on to a good IV Pokemon right now for profit, I don't know if like just raw Dittos are the thing to do. What I would do if I were you is I would breed up a bunch of like PVM and raid Pokemon. I have a bunch of lists and videos on Pokemon like that. Sableyes, you know, things like that. Metagrosses, Reunicluses. These were very, very good raid Pokemon historically during the beta test. Now, it might change a ton, but I'm sure they'll at least be decent. Preparing a bunch of raid Pokemon prior to raids dropping and then having them prepared is really, really good. Dude, there's been times, I tell this all the time, there's been times where like during a Halloween event, I want to say 2 or 3 years ago, 2 times 31 natured Chandelures reached a 1 million Pokeyen apiece. For a 2 time, like it was insane because the demand was so high and you would make so much Pokeyen actually killing the boss and fighting the boss. So people needed them that bad. And there was only so many, you know, there was only so many 1 times 31 special attack and speed Litwicks on the market. So like you could go farm them and make a ton of money. You could breed them for profit and make a ton of money at that time. People were just buying them outright to get the so they could go to the boss and get that. It was also like a untradeable vanity from the boss, so it made sense. A lot of people wanted to like make sure they got that untradeable vanity before it was too late. So getting certain event Pokemon, PVM Pokemon, etc. prior to the event starting can make you a ton of money in the long run if you're willing to hold and willing to make that investment. I mean, that's one of the coolest things about Shiny Wars, in my opinion, is like I'm having trouble finding Ditto Box sellers. So what I can do is just switch methods. There's plenty of rare methods that will give me tons of points. So for example, I'm kind of switching over to like an Nincada strategy. I still have like a ton of eggs I could make, and I will, but I'd rather go ahead and just like claim. I'm seeing Nincadas for 3k a piece. If Nincadas are 3k a piece and I already have tons of XP candy stacked, then I might as well just go ahead and buy those and crank through that hunt versus doing something like prepping eggs. Or doing eggs. Like Nincadas, you only need 2 boxes as well to like efficiently hunt Nincadas. You can do it pretty you don't need as much box space. It's like look at this. Like for an egg hunt, you need a lot of box space, like probably 14 minimum, unless you're abusing the account box with an alt account holding species and stuff for you as well, or prepped boxes for you. That can be kind of a pain and a lot more time in the prep. This is a great question. Someone asked, anyone know what the standings are? So there's no like live leaderboard in Shiny Wars, unfortunately, which kind of draws us to most teams are going to keep their score a secret because it's just a strict disadvantage to give away that information so that other teams can like sort of plan around it, change their shunts if they need to, spend more Pokeyen, spend less Pokeyen, like do different strategies if they need to. Hilariously, because of that, I feel like something that might happen towards the end of Shiny Wars is teams might start lying about their scores to stress other teams out, either in a good way or a bad way. It would not surprise me if a team, like let's say they had 200 points, if they said they only, well, they're gonna be way more, like let's say 2,000, like let's say a team has 2,000 points, it wouldn't surprise me if they say that they have like 1,200 or something like that, or kind of, or play the waters, see what teams release any numbers if at all, and then that kind of like there's gonna be a lot of mental games. Not having a live leaderboard makes for so many mental games. It makes for so many, yeah, unironically need spies on the inside. It would not surprise me at all if people try to do that. It would not surprise me one bit if that becomes a thing with PokeMMO PvP. There was a team that got accused of spying on other team strategies and stuff and winning team tournaments because of it. I don't know the details of that story, but I heard about it from some PvP memers. It's funny, you know, you wouldn't think of PokeMMO being is so like nefarious, but there's some dude deep in the MMO community. You find some cracked fellas who are willing to do some crazy things for competition. Do we know if there will be official point updates? No, not from my understanding, man. Only at the very end of the event. The problem with official war point like updates, point like from the devs or whatever, is that every time they want to score the event, they have to go into each player's account individually and check what shinies they have, what shinies they got during the actual time period, and then also check oh, do you have a Ditto box for me? Hell yeah, please, Durgit. And then also see like they have to check on their back end to see if any egg shinies were bred during the event or if they were rebred, right? There's like you could technically cheat in most Shiny Wars where if you like get a rare shiny and then just sort of keep it secret information, like a secret meme, you know? you could then just pop that out. You could just like rebreed that or whatever and be like, oh team, whoa, I got a shiny, you know. But they will obviously want to prevent. There can't possibly be cheating possible in a official shiny war. They have to nix that. So the only way is for the devs to look through everybody's account on their back end. Alrighty, fellas, it is time. It is once again time to cook. Okay. I'm going to have to hit up my team and ask who wants to join a shiny charm. I'm going to pop a shiny charm. We're doing our typical 20% boosted rare shunting. I have dinner status popped. I'm going to pop a shiny charm. I'm going to be breeding as many rare Pokemon as I can throughout my boxes. And I also have, this is the shiny that chat told me to pick for good luck today. My one out of my 3 shiny Raticates called lead players. So you know what that means, fellas. No shiny today, but we're going to try our best. Alrighty, fellas, we got Mr. Pibb in the charm. That's extra good luck. You know it as a fact. Let's go ahead. Get it started. Good luck, good luck. I gotta buy some more charms. Good luck, gamers. Good luck, everybody involved. Let's get a rare shot. Let's do plus 30 points today, fellas. What do you say? I've never thought about that. If it's possible to make a price checking mod, that's actually genius. That would just do like a really basic price check of like 1x31s or 2x31s and like factor in like 25 pluses or 20 pluses. A mod that would just check species, gender, IVs, egg group, and like nature. And it would only check IVs. It would only register IVs if they're like 31 or 20 plus. That's super. That would literally be like one of the best mods to ever exist. It would basically be GTL templates, yeah, but like do it all for you. I feel like it's possible, actually. That's so interesting. I feel like a price checking mod for new players would probably be one of the best mods. Probably maybe the second best for Encounter Counter. I feel like a price checking mod would be one of the best mods in PokeMMO if it's allowed and if it's possible. Obviously, you'd still have to learn price checking for like more advanced price checks or anything like extra complicated or whatever. But that being a good baseline would be so good. I feel like if anyone were to make that, I would recommend that to everybody. That'd be an incredibly good baseline mod to have for new players. All right, fellas, there it is. That is the hour of charm up. Let's count our eggs, see how many we made. And we're probably going to make some more. We're probably going to do some more, fellas. We still have 10 Pokemon down here to consume and then a few boxes. 2 full boxes here. And then I could make an Incada's. And then we could also just go hoard or maybe open Mysterious Balls. I'm kind of not in the Mysterious Ball mood today. I think at this point I'd rather crack a shiny from an actually like crazy rare thing versus just Mysterious Balls if I'm already this dry. But we'll see if I change that mind. Wait, am I counting correctly? Did I actually do a good egg hour finally? Was that over 400? How? I swear there are some hours where I'm like, oh yeah, that was like that. I'm like, oh yeah, that was a great hour, and then it's like 360 eggs, and then this hour felt bad. And I feel like this might be over 400. So 60 eggs here, 120. And then you can do 4 more to be 240. So this is 240. And then 300, 330, 360, 390. And then 390 plus... Boys, we actually did 410. No, I think that's right. We did 410, I think. What? I can't count? I think I did 410. Let me double check. It's embarrassing how excited I am for a 410 egg hour, but dude, it's been a long time. It's crazy how much practice, just like, you gotta just practice, man. My PB is like 434. This is like not cool, but like I should be doing 400 eggs plus an hour. Like that's, but I took a long break from eggs and it sucks to admit like, oh, you gotta learn it again and practice and get that muscle memory. Practice makes perfect, and that's definitely the case with something as mechanical as egg hunting in PokeMMO, hilariously. Okay, let me go ahead and get let's get these prepped. We're going to do another charm. Make the rest of these eggs. Maybe even prep a few more Nincada or something. In the meantime, we're going to do one more charm with some more rare shunting. LUI Shiny Cacnea again? Is that his fourth? His fourth shiny? Wait, what channel is he on? Do we know? What the hell? How the hell do I get to Abundant Shrine? You can actually fly to Abundant Shrine in Univoked. I always forget about. Now, getting there the first time, I haven't done it in a while, so good luck. Dude, what channel is LUI on? That's actually insane. How does this man get his fourth channel 4? Someone said. I'm pretty sure this is his fourth shiny of shiny. It's day 8, by the way. It's so good too. He's actually built different. Dude, congratulations to him. Also, the level 100 Troupius. Troupius is a great name. Dude, congratulations to him. That's insane. Such a good shiny. His 4th shiny of the event. Good luck to him on the IVs and the catch. I'm going to go do some shunting myself. We're going to go pick up the correct Pokemon. My Hoppip. Wait, is this real, Joey? I like almost... It's so sick that dude, look what I found today, he says. Dude, you got a shiny Spiritomb today, and you've played it cool until now? Dude, congratulations. I feel like Spiritomb is one of the best eggs. Got it this morning? Dude, congratulations. I think Spiritomb is one of the best egg shinies. That is beautiful, dude. Fucking turbo congrats, man. Somebody in chat says, I believe PokeMMO would benefit from more random encounters in caves/forests. Literally add more new spawns in most of the places and keep it a secret for like 4 months. It'll feel like a new adventure straight away. I feel like they do that to some extent. Obviously, I'm down for more as long as it's balanced. I was talking about this a second ago where like, PokeMMO is probably one of the few games that puts out updates where they won't tell their players everything that was updated. The first time a legendary was found in PokeMMO, we thought it was a bug because we didn't know they added them. We didn't know they were rotating. Like, it was the first, what was it, Suicune? Like, Suicune was like the first legendary added in PokeMMO. It was only in Johto. We didn't know that Kanto had legendaries at that point. We didn't know it would rotate. We didn't know we would get like a new one every month. We had to like discover all of this from scratch. Same with Secret Shinies. Secret Shinies were snuck into the game and no one knew that they existed until someone was like, hey, wait a minute. My shiny has like 3 little stars next to it as opposed to 1, you know? They're really good about like adding content and making it feel like an adventure in 2024, which I feel like a lot of games don't do. And it's a personal preference whether you like that or don't like that. It's not like a better or worse thing. I like that. I think it's kind of cool. Not on everything, but on some stuff like that. Like Secret Shinies and Legendaries are the perfect things to keep a secret, in my opinion. Here's 62,000 encounters, by the way. There we go. Right, just in time. Just barely got it. What about duplicate shinies? Someone mentioned, yeah, how many Raticates I have. I have 3 shiny rats, unfortunately. There's like 1 too many. I don't mind having duplicates of shinies to have like the full species line. So for example, like, I guess Machop could be an example. I don't mind having like 1 Machop, 1 Machoke, 1 Machamp, but if I were to have like 4, like Onyx is a fucked one. You get like 4 Onyxes on the way to 1 shiny Larvitar on average, which like, this is why one of the best updates PokeMMO could do for the shiny hunting community would definitely be adding extra spawn locations or extra spawns of species at those locations that have like a ton of duplicates on the way to the most desired shiny. So things like the Dratini spot, things like the even the Miltank spot. The Miltank is like what? Now it's like 80% Raticate, 20% Miltank. So like on average, if you want a shiny Miltank at all, on average you're gonna get 4 Raticates on the way. Like, that's crazy. Like, that's no, like, duplicates are one thing, but nobody needs 4 Raticates. Nobody needs 4 Onyxes on the way to, even us, like, hardcore dedicated shunters, like, that's just, but if you threw in, like, even like something like a Graveler, like at the Larvitar spot, let's say it's like 40% chance for Onyx, 40% chance for Graveler, 20% chance for Larvitar. That's fine. I think that, like, just adding in 1 extra spawn, or like the Dratini spot, like, imagine if the Dratini spot was like 40% Horsey, 40% Magikarp, 20% Dratini. I don't have to do Horsey because maybe that would change up the Horsey meta, but I think that'd be really cool. No, I needed 6 Petalil. Yup. Yeah, I'm sure you needed 6 Petalil on the way to your what is that Petalil? That's Zorua. That's a Zorua shunt. Yeah, that amount of duplicates gets pretty crazy. I think 1 per species line should be what's aimed for. And then if you get unlucky, like, that happens, you know? Like, it was Yakatov who got 8 shiny Onyxes, or 7 or 8 shiny Onyxes on the way to Larvitar. Back when it was 50-50. That was before it was even the 20-80 split, which is crazy. You're gonna get unlucky, that happens, but the best case scenario shouldn't be 4 Onyxes. Like, you know what that's what I'm trying to say. Like, the average scenario shouldn't be 4 Onyxes per 1 Larvitar. That's pretty nuts. I'm okay with Larvitar being rare, but just add in some extra species spawns there. They talked about, they kind of promised they would work on that update when that change happened for the 2080 hordes, and they never really got around to it. That's one of those ones where I would love to see them actually fulfill that promise for sure. More day/night rotating hordes would be great. Yeah, honestly, day/night hordes add a lot of variety and force you to shunt in certain ways. And I feel like that's really interesting and rewards you for keeping track of that time. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of night and day rotating hordes for sure. This is a great question that I get a lot. I'm thinking about doing my first rare shiny hunt. So are you saying that you need over 100 mil up front, even if I were to do it passively? I don't think you need 100 mil up front. A rare shunt will cost you like 120 to 150 mil. I strongly suggest having at least 60 mil up front. I always say one of the biggest mistakes that I ever made in PokeMMO was starting my egg shunt at only 42 mil Pokeyen cash, comparatively like 65 mil-ish. And then I started at 42 mil cash, and I even had 42 mil cash plus I had charms and donor statuses stacked, and it still wasn't nearly enough. I recommend at least 65 mil cash on top of probably like 5 to 10 30-day donor statuses on top of like 20 or more shiny charms. You want a lot of it stacked up because you don't want to enter a point where like you're like close to your quote unquote, like your edge shiny, and you get stuck like not having Pokeyen, and then you have to like go make Pokeyen, or like it really breaks up the momentum, and it really makes you feel so bad. Nothing will demotivate you quicker in a shiny hunt than like not being, you're already like working so hard to do the shunt, let alone having to like go back to make Pokeyen to even be able to do that. You know, it's like grinding so that you can do another grind, you know, and that can just feel miserable. So making sure you have at least 65 mil and then donos and shiny charms up front. I made a big mistake. Doing the only having 42 mil cash. That was like it really put my Cranidos hunt in a really tough spot. Yeah, people ask a ton about the possibility of adding more Master Balls into the game. I feel like there are a ton of ways you could do it in a balanced, in fun, and interactive way. Like some of the ones that people are bringing up in chat, like the idea of it being a legendary sync as well. So like trading 3 legendary Pokemon to, it'd be 3 legendaries per 1 Master Ball to like an NPC, similar to like the shiny consumption NPC for prismatic pearls. That could work. I think having them used for like, if they give like 1 free Master Ball per year during like an anniversary event, if you did like a certain grind, that could be one of the rewards. I think that's really cool. You definitely don't want to like, you don't want to be able to like buy Master Ball. Someone suggests like buy Master for like 100k. Like that's ridiculous. You don't want that. That takes the fun and excitement and interesting parts out of them. But the idea of, I think there's a cool middle ground of being able to grind for a Master Ball. They probably should cost a few mil or so each in time or just Pokeyen and effort. Who needs Master Balls when you have Net Ball? Yeah, it's like from what I've heard, it's like about the same catch rate, Net Ball and Master Balls. Yeah, true. Same catch rate modifier, true and real. That's awesome. But no, I think Master Balls are really cool. It's awesome that you can only get 5 of them or whatever in the game, and that's it. I think it'd be fine to introduce more ways to achieve them, but you want to still keep them rare, still keep them untradeable, still keep them a cool little trophy. Yeah, the idea of crafting Master Balls, I don't know what you'd have to consume to make that balanced, but you definitely could do it. Like the crafting system in PokeMMO is already so dead, so few players even know that it exists. I think using the crafting system to create Master Balls, which is already used for other balls with like the apricorns, right? Like, I think there's something that could be balanced and fun there. And having another item to make like a collective stack out of, like if you saw someone with like 20 Master Balls, you'd be like, oh shit, like that guy spent like a ton of time and effort to get all those, and Pokeyen. Like I think it's always cool to have those different stacks of items and be able to see someone's achievement. I wish you could flex those stacks a little bit better versus just showing like a screenshot. Like, you know, like people don't really see, people always see like people always see my Pokeyen stack and assume one of two things. New players see 23 mil and like, oh shit, you're rich. A lot of other players see like, oh shit, you're broke. You know, like it's just perspective. But what they don't see, you know, either way is like my inventory, like the net worth here. I probably have like a 600 million Pokeyen net worth in PokeMMO, but so little of that is ever going to be in my capital. It's mostly going to be in investments, in my shiny hunts, etc., etc. So little of my actual worth is ever going to be tied up into my free, not like untied up in my free capital, right? All right, but that is that shiny charm over. I'm going to go ahead and actually prep for another batch of eggs, boys. All right, fellas, it is time for batch number 2 of eggs today, okay? We didn't get a rare yet, but we are not finished, okay? Lock in. We did a 4:10 hour earlier. That wasn't bad. This is going to be 8:20. I think world record is like 600 something. My PB is 4:30. We are not going to break that, but we're going to try our best. Good luck to everybody shunting. Let's go, fellas. I didn't even realize. I think we're done eggs, boys. I think we did it. That's all the eggs I wanted to make. I didn't have that many to make. I think we're good. We cooked our omelets, boys. The eggs are made. The problem is how many eggs did I actually make? I didn't make that many. I'm gonna do some Ninkadas though. Now that we're done that, I'm gonna move this over to Shiny Box. Shinies time, boys. We'll see. Wait, that's actually a Gigabrain call. I should do fossils. So I can't. I don't want to log out strat because I already have people in a charm with me. So I don't want. You have to like kick them. When you log out strat to do Shinies, it's much faster. But you have to like. You can't be in a charm with people, which sucks. But I'd rather just go pop fossils. You're totally right, chat. It's a good call. Let's throw this in here. Grab my. We're gonna grab the shiny Miltank again for good luck, and we'll see what we can do. I only have around 30 fossils to pop anyway, so let's just go pop the rest of those. I also ended up making 218 eggs within that half hour or so. So I'm going to do 218 plus 506, and that'll give us our new encounter, 724. So 62,724 is the new encounters dry. Fuck it, boys. We ball. I'm going to buy some old ambers. These are super expensive. 299. How much did this cost? Honestly, that's not that bad. I don't have that much time, though, to do all that, but... Honestly, it was cheaper than I expected. Maybe my brain is just melted from expensive shunting. Let me buy 50. Sure, I'm down. Old ambers are base. Aerodactyls? Dude, a shiny Aerodactyl would go hard. I made like 1.5 mil farming fossils over the weekend. Dude, that's awesome. It's so good to take advantage of certain markets like this. Look at what's expensive and then go farm that as a newer to intermediate player, you know? All right, that's it for the fossils, fellas. I'll have to add up the numbers and see how many fossil encounters I did. But other than that, we're going to go hatch eggs and head back over to Zangoose in Hoenn. 63,000 encounters, boys. There it is. It's got to be in the eggs, okay? Copium. Surely we're not this dry. Yeah, I kind of feel like right now with the 1x31 market, with what it is, and everything else requiring like more game knowledge and team builds, so things like Jimmy runs, things like... even like catching Dittos requires like specifically built Pokemon, or catching like Ninkadas. Ninkadas is pretty easy to be fair, but like I kind of feel like the best beginner money making method has kind of looped back to like payday pickup. It's not that good. It's like 120 to 150k Pokeyen per hour, and you can do it in pretty much any region with a storyline complete. Not Sinnoh. Sinnoh does not have pickup tables, unfortunately. But yeah, hilariously, I feel like payday pickup is kind of looped around to being like, whenever like the market's not great for that, for like beginners type stuff. Breeding is really good for profit right now, but beginners, it can't. Breeding is so difficult to learn as a beginner. I wouldn't really recommend that to a beginner for profit unless it's something very, very simple and specific that you can just do over and over and over again. I feel like payday pickup is probably the best moneymaker right now, and it's very consistent for new players, but don't expect any sort of crazy money. It's once again like 120 to 150k Pokeyen per hour really consistently, and make sure you have a pickup Pokemon. When you're payday pickupping, I think it's like 60% of your profit is from the pickup items from that actual specific locations. I have plenty of payday pickup guides out there if you just Google it. If you have any more questions, let me know. This is a good question that hopefully should clear things up for sure. Thanks, I'll check out that pickup video. Is there any hope for the 1x31 market in the future, or is it doomed? There's absolutely hope. Like, for those who are new to the game, we've seen, new to any market, if you've ever watched any market ever, you see it go through different phases. Like, just because 1x31s are cheap right now doesn't mean they'll be cheap forever. I've seen them hit these prices. I've seen them go back up. I've seen them hit insanely high prices. You know, it just depends. It just depends on updates and basic supply and demand and what's happening in the game. Right now, there's not a whole lot of demand for that end game stuff, and there's a lot of supply from new players coming in, but not a whole lot of sustainability to turn those new players into veteran players or endgame players who actually need those good IV Pokemon. So raids will pretty much solve that. I think raids will really strongly increase the demand for good IV Pokemon. Will it increase it enough to outweigh netballs being too strong and alpha Pokemon coming in at pretty consistent rates? Probably not. We'll probably need to see, I've said forever, we probably need to see some nerfs to alpha spawns, and probably a nerf to netballs. That's my personal opinion. That plus raids, all three of those things impacting the supply and demand, hopefully will even out the 1x31 market, and I'm sure the devs have it on their radar and they're kind of keeping an eye on it. Not gonna lie, special balls should not be able to be bought, just crafted with apricorns. Honestly, I'm not opposed to that. I think that'd be really interesting. I know a lot of people would, I feel like a lot of people would hear that and be like, wait a minute, like, don't take away my easy, you know, buyable balls, which I understand, but like, I think that'd be really interesting. I think it adds a whole nother secondary market to Pokeballs, and it also makes it so apricorn farming would actually be worth doing, which I think is really cool, and that implements a whole new beginner money-making method in Johto, which is very, very cool. No, I really like the idea of, like, you being forced to craft Pokeball. Just like get rid of all the shops that have any like extra Pokeballs and make it all craftable stuff or buyable stuff, and make it so you can make money via crafting those balls and farming the apricorns and even just farming to make them. That would add so many extra layers. You would still be able to buy the Pokeballs off the GTL. That's the important thing, but off of other players versus like from a Pokemart. Honestly, I think that's really interesting. I think you actually could do something. It'd be a lot of work to balance that, but I think there's something really interesting there. I actually really like that idea. Sup, Pat? It's been about a month since I've taken a break from PokeMMO. How do you keep the motivation to grind so much? What's up? Welcome back. I appreciate the question. The real answer to this question is like, if I only relied on motivation to be able to grind, I would have burnt out years ago, right? Motivation is an emotion that comes in like waves, and you can't really control it that much. You can kind of force it sometimes. With like music or something hype or whatever, but like generally motivation will only carry you so far, and you need to like support it with like willpower and practice. And like generally like you can develop like the ability to grind is a skill in my opinion, and I feel like you can grind the ability to grind, you know. If you like, the more times you grind through when you don't want to, you eventually start to like build up the ability to push through when you don't want to even more and more, and then it just becomes easier and easier and easier. That's really all I can say is like the more you grind and push through, the easier other grinds will be. And I do feel like grinding in one aspect of life can transfer over to others, not always, but sometimes. I've said this before, there's a huge correlation or a huge crossover in RuneScape players and bodybuilders. It's kind of hilarious because the grinds are very similar. It's grinding like long-term, very small progress every day things for a much larger long-term outcome, overarching outcome. And for the sub frozen cat, I'll get to in a second, but yeah, like really like I can't say anything that is going to teach you to be able to like grind or have motivation. It really comes down to just own personal skill. It's the same thing if you ask anybody like, hey, how do I get good at this thing? It's really just practice. It's really just practice and doing it over and over and over again until it clicks for you, until it works for you. I didn't expect it to end like this, but my stream crashed. You know, it happens sometimes. Patrouski internet, what are you gonna do? But I wanted to say quickly, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys enjoy the stream recaps. Hopefully you enjoy the daily PokeMMO content as much as I do. You don't always see shinies, you don't always see exciting stuff every day when playing PokeMMO, but that's part of the grind. It wouldn't be exciting and it wouldn't be fun if we saw exciting stuff every day. You have to kind of go through those routes to actually be able to experience those super hype moments. So hopefully you guys understand that, appreciate that. Have a great day. Hopefully you're having good luck in your PokeMMO shunts. Like the video if you enjoyed it. It means the world to me. Dislike if you didn't. Subscribe to the channel for daily PokeMMO videos. You can follow me on Twitch for streams, usually Monday through Friday, but all the time during Shiny Wars. Discord's down below. If you want to go above and beyond and support the content, YouTube memberships, Twitch Primes, Twitch subs, and PayPal/Venmo really do make the difference. Thank you guys. Have a great day. I'll see you later. Peace, Reno. Hey, thank you so very much for watching until the very end of the video. That means the world to me, and everyone on this list means even more to me for helping support the channel every single day. Thanks so much.